and I am with you here on No Sound Bites Allowed. You may notice the background looks a little bit different today, and that's because I'm not in my usual studio. I'm not at work right now, but today I happen to be in Washington, D.C. And you may have seen that I've already posted a couple of videos on what I'm doing here in D.C., and actually I'm at the CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Conference, which is in Maryland. It's been a very, very nice experience so far. Got to hear Dan Crenshaw speak. He had some very interesting comments today, and he was talking about the future of America, something that's really been important. And one of the reasons why it's been so important is because of what we saw the day before and yesterday, which was, of course, Bernie Sanders. We got to see Bernie Sanders continues to lead in South Carolina. We see the Democratic candidates just stumbling all over each other, screaming at the top of their lungs to be heard, basically having tantrums on the stage. This has been anything but awe-inspiring, and really, it's kind of sad to see that that's the answer that we're seeing from Democrats right now. That's the best they can do at the moment, is to claw at each other on the very same issues, trying to say, well, no, I'm just better at this than you are. But you're all of them are promoting failed policies and ideas that haven't worked. As an example, and I was just having a conversation about this, and I'm going to get into that in a moment, but I was having a conversation about the Second Amendment. And the fact is, for what, since 1934, we've heard the same answer over and over again from Democrats. That, well, you just have to ban the guns. You just have to restrict the guns. We just have to take away firearms from the law-abiding American citizens, and that will resolve everything. And decade after decade, city after city, it's failed. It doesn't work. We're not seeing the reductions that we've been promised from things like the New York SAFE Act or the red flag laws that are in 17 states and have been around since 1999. They haven't reduced the number of suicides. They haven't prevented some deranged individual from making the decision that the only answer left to them in life is to harm another individual. Which is the bad answer. It's a wrong answer. And taking away their firearms doesn't solve that, because they find another way. They create bombs. They use cars. It just isn't working. And so we have to look at what is the root causes here. And when we look at the Democratic candidates, Bernie Sanders, Michael Bloomberg, Joe Biden, and the rest, all we're hearing is, no, no, don't worry, I'm just better at this, and I've got the answer, and it's the same answer I gave you last time, and this time it'll work. And it never works. So it's kind of sad. And I really felt bad, in a way, for many of the Democratic candidates, because they don't have anything better to offer. In fact, the best thing that they can offer is, I believe it was Pete Buttigieg when he said that he wants to have a member of the Supreme Court of the United States, if he were to get elected, and the only criteria he cared about was that it would be a woman and that she would be black, which says nothing about women or those who are black. It's not a compliment. If he could point to an individual, that's one thing. That's a person who's qualified and good. But when he's just saying, well, they're just going to be black and a woman, that gives us nothing. That doesn't help anyone. That doesn't advance anything. That's just a quota based on something that's intrinsic that you're born with. That isn't going to help anyone, because that's not telling us that these are qualified people. I don't know, maybe that's a thought that's just too far outside the realm. But what wasn't outside the realm was today at CPAC, being able to listen to Dan Crenshaw talk, listening to Carter Page talk, listening to Matt Slapp as he was talking. And more importantly, I also had the opportunity to speak with many, many of students from around the country, from the Leadership Institute and Talking Point USA, and I was able to speak with several of them about some of the ideas that they have, about why they came to CPAC, what they think about what's going on, and the way that the media is barraging this idea. Well, socialism has to work. It has to work. even though it's never worked anywhere in the world, even though we've never seen it succeed. But the media keeps telling them that, and they hear it, and they can't understand why their peers don't say this doesn't work. It's never worked. Just like with gun control, it's never worked. Why are we doing this? So, I mean, it's been a really great experience to be at CPAC and to hear the students recognize this, to hear them have conversations about this, to hear their enthusiasm to hear President Trump. I can tell you, I was just an hour or two ago, I was having a conversation with about 10 of these young future leaders of our nation, and their excitement to hear from the president because he's the president, and to be able to hear from the vice president because he's the vice president. They want to hear from our leaders. They want to learn from our leaders, not because of the political ideology, but because these are leaders and there's something there to learn from. I think that's an important thing. And that's just in the first day. And I know of a couple of other groups of students, more local to my home area, which is the southern tier of New York, that will be coming down, and I'll be able to hear from them about what they're getting out of CPAC. And I know I'm going to be interviewed while I'm here at CPAC, as well as I believe we may be able to get a couple of very big interviews. I'm working on that for you folks, and I hope to bring that, as well as I'm going to try and get it out live, but we don't have the same capabilities this time as we did in 2019, so some of it's going to be taped, but you're going to be able to hear and see CPAC in its unedited form. And I think that's a wonderful benefit, and I hope everyone's going to like that. And I want to thank you all. You guys made it possible for me to do this. It's because of your support of me that I came back in 2020. I was able to live up to my promise from last year, 2019, and return to CPAC and to give you the coverage of what's going on and to try and get those interviews out for you. Something that is unique and that no one else, I can tell you, no one in the Southern Tier is down here from the news media to be able to provide this. And we should have that. We should have that representation. We should be able to lean on our news media to be able to get that firsthand impact. And that's what I'm hoping that I can provide to you. So I hope you like it. And I know it's a bit late for everyone there. I have a lot of work that I have to do. I've been working hard, a lot of conversations, trying to set up a lot of meetings so that I can get the interviews out to you. And I'm looking forward to it. And, you know, I'm redoubling in my efforts because there's some changes I want to make when I get back into the Southern Tier. You know, I've been fed up for a while now listening to the progressive left, the progressive leaders of tomorrow, the far left fringe, like Indivisible New York, that they want to tell us, well, you're sexist and racist and there's something wrong with you because you love America. When I listened to Bernie Sanders last night as he's talking on the debate stage, I'm listening to Mike Bloomberg, I'm listening to Pete Buttigieg, I'm listening to Amy Klobuchar, and not one of them combined can come up with one good thing to say about America. You know what? I'm tired of that. I'm tired of having politicians who can't see the positive things about our capitalist representative democracy and move us forward. I'm really tired of that. And so I'm going to do something to help in a small way, but to start trying to help to change that mentality. And I hope you're going to be there with me and support me as I do that. And I'll talk more about that when I get back from CPAC. Tomorrow, we're going to hear from Vice President Mike Pence. Again, I'll either have that live for you or I will tape the entire event and then I will put it out live so that you'll be able to see it. I hope everyone enjoys hearing every word verbatim, no edits, no cutting by some news director who may or may not agree with the political views he's going to be hearing. I'm going to give you everything verbatim. Please leave me your messages. You can call me at 607-242-1582. You can reach me at the MV Consult on Twitter or go to Voss Political Commentary on Facebook. And of course, you always have the option to reach me on YouTube. And I hope everyone's going to be well. Please let me know what you think of the coverage, things that I can try and get done. If there's something I can do to give you more of an interaction, help you be here with me, I'll try and get it done. But until then, folks, I want you to be well. Please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like and share. And of course, if you want, donate. But until the next time, tomorrow, I want everyone to be well. And thank you for giving me time today. Bye-bye.